every single level to ensure that these families, who, by the way, they're not illegal. They're asylum seekers. They are protected by international law.
That is funny.
First of all, never trust a man who has a hair that looks like shark. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. So Chicago, we got sent some clips about Chicago. Now, I think this happened like 3 weeks ago. The immigrants, the immigrants come to Chicago, and now the residents are upset now, and I just thought it was pretty comical. Like, it's just funny to me that these people voted one way and now they're all upset. Okay, I'm gonna check out the clips that he sent, and we will talk about said clips. Go.
Well, this is new video of migrants on move-in day at a newly opened shelter in the Pilsen neighborhood. Like so many other shelters across the city, this one was met with some protest from neighbors. And that same drama is playing out tonight over a park on the west side.
Turn the buses around. Turn the buses around.
You want to take the little scrap, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair.
In Galewood, tensions are running high over a plan to turn the Admonson Park field house into a shelter.
Yeah, that proposal is angering residents who packed into a meeting tonight that was standing room only.
Casey Cronus has that part of the story.
Tonight's meeting was contentious, rowdy, and left hundreds of residents with unanswered questions. Their main fear that when migrants move in, park programming and youth activities for this community will be stripped away. Within seconds of city officials taking the microphone, community members anxious to speak their minds took center stage.
If you had your right mind and see a crowd like this, you would say to yourself, they don't want it. And we're not anti-migrants, but it shouldn't be on our backs.
Still unclear when approximately 200 migrants might be moving in. 29th Ward Alderman Chris Taliaferro, who says he is strongly opposed to the plan, tried to settle tensions. But neighbors say programs for youth and elderly residents are at risk if their field house becomes a sanctuary.
A lot of these young boys, they don't have fathers. So a lot of these coaches, they are their fathers. They spend part of their weekend here alone during the week. That keeps them a safe place. It gets them mentorship. It shows them discipline.
Hours before the meeting, neighbors held a protest outside, blasting the plan.
We ain't having that, no. You want to tell us what to do in our park? You cannot do that. We pay our money.
Some calling for more transparency from the 5th floor.
And what I want to say is to Mayor Brandon Johnson, we are disappointed in you. This is the community that supported you. How dare you?
We've reached out to Mayor Brandon Johnson's office for his response to the community's reaction, but have not yet heard back. Reporting from the Amundsen Park Fieldhouse, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
I don't feel sorry for him. Let me tell you something, because you know what's funny to me is that I'm looking at them holding up all of their signs, and you want the migrants out, and we voted for you, we trusted you, Brandon, and all this kind of stuff. They're holding up all these signs, right? You can't see enough signs, so many signs, right? And what's making me laugh is that the signs they were holding up before were signs with him getting into office. Now, here's the most interesting part. His platform has not changed. He's always been this type of person. He's always been this type of person. This is what happens when you vote for blackness. Yep. Okay? So I don't feel sorry for these people.
No, I don't.
I don't feel sorry for these people because this is what they voted for.
Against your own interests.
What happened was they didn't look at what they were voting for. They were voting for a black man. And when you vote black,
this is what happens.
You don't use your common sense to see if you even agreed with his platform.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
Old school, just vote blue no matter who, and if they black, it's even better. You see a black person up there, you vote. I don't care what they're talking about. I don't even want to hear what they're talking about. I just know that they are black, and I am black, and guess what? I'm voting for them. So no one even took the time to realize that Brandon Johnson's voting history
warrants this type of behavior. If they had read what he was about, instead of just looking at the fact that he's black, they would realize that he was always, if anything like this would ever happen with the immigrant situation, he was always going to go this direction. It wasn't like, it's like he's shy about this kind of stuff. It's that you guys didn't do your homework on who you voted for, and then here you go. I think he's putting $200 million into this, and I think more.
And then the feel sorry for me movement with the no fathers.
The no fathers.
These kids don't have fathers. Why not?
Why not?
Woman. Why do all these women have kids without fathers? But that you need a program.
Yeah.
To now take care of your kids.
Keep the migrants out.
He likes the borders open. He likes the defunding the police. He's a Marxist.
Had you just listened to all of his rhetoric before and stopped being so concerned with the fact that the black man's going to be the mayor, then you would have known what he was about. But this is the thing, you guys. Here's the thing with black Democrats. This is what happens, is that majority of them do not look at policy. I'm telling you, I was one. You don't look at policy, really. Very rare. And what you do is you just go with the skin tone. And what you do, when you do that, you get stuck with the Brandon Johnson that's now putting millions and millions and millions of dollars into this open border situation. Now, we've been saying, close the borders. We need to be tighten it up. And now, because I think they say, what, 3 million new illegal aliens actually get into the country. Is that 3 million a year?
That's what they said.
And I'm like, okay, so that's a completely open country. Let's forget a border. It's an open country.
All these people spent time talking crap about Trump. When he wanted to close the borders.
Wanted to close the border.
And he wanted to keep out the child predators and the fentanyl distributors and everybody that was black was, oh, Brandon Johnson's for the people and all this. And then he came in, they got smash and grabs all through Chicago. They done defunded the police a lot. You know, they
Walmart's closing down.
All kinds of stuff happening. Now we got a bunch of illegals just ramping into the, like, I think they said that. They said that if illegals come through the border, they're coming to mostly black neighborhoods that are underprivileged.
And I think what these black people are realizing is that they're taking over, right? And that's gonna eliminate your little. We're at 13% with our population, total in the country.
And why do you think the Democrats did that? It's because they want more the minority votes. They wanted these people to come through the border so they could get more votes from these undocumented people. And so they're going to get it, but at the expense of black people. And this is the thing, it's like black people who don't have money. You know what I mean? And so this is the thing. It's like when you start leaning on the government for everything and then you're a slave to it. Well, we need our funding and we need this and we don't want them here. Well, hey, he didn't change nothing. This is who he was. But they get you so lost in your skin color and your feelings and slavery and Jim Crow and everybody who's black who tells you this is a coon and everybody who's white that tells you this is a racist.
We've been telling you.
And let me tell you, they will vote again for Lightfoot like they did. They will vote for Brandon Johnson and any other black person that comes in and shucks and jives for them and tells them a bunch of utopia stories, and they will still do it. You know why? Because black people are lost
when it comes.
Someone
to
said the other day, Blanchard from I Am Blanchard. You should watch his show. He was just saying black people are like gone. And this is why we knew that this was going to happen. We kept saying, Candace Owens kept saying it, Larry Elder kept saying it, like, you are not thinking right. It was the whole thing about schools. Republicans wanting black people, black people in areas that have school choice. Well, you can't vote for Republicans, so you can't have that. What a dilemma.
Yeah.
You got to vote against your own morals and everything so you can vote for these people.
We look, constantly black people are voting against their interest constantly. It's ridiculous.
Since we love the abortion clinic, they're going for Hispanics. Hispanics mostly keep their kids.
Yeah.
So here we got a whole bunch of Hispanics kids and stuff coming into our borders, and we're only 13% of the population. They've got a much bigger demographic than we do, and if they think they can just come in this country because Joe Biden said so, then they're going to vote for Democrats because they want the rest of their family to come here. And Brandon Johnson's job was to get immigrants in here and to make it legal, and he did his job.
But again, it's not like he wasn't going to do that. See, my thing is, that's what my problem is, that it's not like he wasn't going to do that. It's just that it was just kind of like within, if people pay attention, it was kind of common knowledge that if he was ever presented with this situation, he was going to do that. Yeah. But you guys voted for it anyways, and then didn't say anything about it. Had your big signs up about get Brandon Johnson in office. Okay, got him in. No one looked at his voting record at all. Didn't look at anything about him. Nothing about them. And then this situation happens. Now, what they're doing at this point is putting them in underprivileged communities. So that means that a lot of the illegal, immigrants that are coming here are also going to be taking advantage of the welfare system, right? So this is pissing them off. It's like, you're coming into my town. Get him out of here. What does that sound like? Sounds like 1950s to me. Funny, because in the 1950s, I was looking at this thing where Compton used to be, in California, Compton used to be white, okay? And they introduced the, they had a black family starting to integrate them into the community and stuff, and white people were having none of that, right? They were just uncomfortable with the situation, and every time a black family came in, they would, obviously yell, racist comments and things like that to the people, right? And they sound just like...
I told you, we are becoming everything we thought that white people were.
We're flipping
and the thing is, it's like I said, there's no such thing as a utopia. People forget about human nature.
Right.
And the fact is that slavery even, black people didn't hate slavery, they just didn't want to be the slave.
Right.
Because black people own slaves in this country too. So my point in saying this is that we can become just like everything you hate about what you think white people are.
Right.
In a second when things don't go our way.
You
signed up for this, and now you don't like what it is, what it looks like when it's really happening. You know what I mean? And people don't think. You just cry racism, they get your vote, and then they enact all of these pathetic, gross, unfair policies, and now you want to sit here and cry. But by the way, most black people will still vote for this person. Again, they will. They just will. It may not be this guy, but if they put another black face up here,
the black face.
They will do it again.
Yeah. Now, real quick, we're going to put, this guy sent us another clip of his response, Brandon Johnson's response. The guy.
Which, by the way, Brandon Johnson, this isn't the first time when they did those
remember that?
Team takeovers? This isn't the first time they've had a hard time trying to get a hold of him.
Yeah,
then he comes out and does a speech. But people, when things like this happen in Chicago, he seems to stay away from the media and then has to make a statement.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to see what he has to say.
Mayor Brandon Johnson revealing today that he is going to the southern border soon, but he would not provide any specifics. But we've also learned that a team from the Department of Homeland Security arrived here just yesterday to see what help Chicago needs.
So going to the border is to make sure that everybody knows that my administration is committed to making sure that we are putting together the full force of government at every single level to ensure that these families, who, by the way, they're not illegal. They're asylum seekers. They are protected by international law.
And impassioned Mayor Johnson talking about the migrant crisis in Chicago, saying federal policies have impacted the city in a very dramatic way. Already more than 17,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago, with up to 22 more buses expected to arrive today. City resources are already strained to the limit. The Johnson administration scrambling to open more shelters. The mayor confirmed this afternoon that on Tuesday, a team from the Department of Homeland Security arrived in Chicago to assess the situation. Johnson pointing a thinly veiled finger at Texas Governor Greg Abbott for creating the problem that DHS is here to evaluate.
Based upon our interactions thus far, it is becoming increasingly clear that those who want to disrupt our democracy are committed to doing that. It's a real mission of theirs. And so our hope is that we will continue to get more resources and a stronger commitment from the federal government to be able to provide us with the support that the people of Chicago need.
Johnson says he recognizes what the southern border states are dealing with, and that's why he wants to go there with a team to see the problem firsthand. He said the trip is not to try and discourage the asylum seekers from coming to Chicago with the approach of colder.
I love how they're using a glossy term, asylum seekers.
I mean, first of all,
they're not illegal.
First of all, never trust a man who has a hair that looks like shark. He's already telling you he's a shark. You know what I mean? Secondly, you never trust a shark. You know what I mean? Secondly, I love how he just told the people who got into office that he doubled down and told them to kick rocks. They're coming. And I was told to do this by the Democratic Party, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So unless you guys vote for me out, you're going to have to share with the illegals. They're asylum seekers, by the way. Let's just keep calling them that so it can look as though they belong here. They don't belong here.
And you know that. Okay.
he's telling black people that voted for him, kick rocks.
So let's just stop the waterworks.
Remember when Vivek Ramaswamy, he said something really controversial, because if you're born in America, you're a citizen. But what happens is a lot of these people who are illegals come here, have a baby, and then if they get sent back, their baby gets to stay. And he said, you just send the baby with them. And I'll be honest with you.
Well,
you illegally got here,
but you see how.
But that's what I'm saying. I agree with him. I'm sorry to say that, but I do agree with him. You know what I mean? You're trying to illegally come here and push out a child on purpose to stay here, and to me that's deceptive, and that means that you need to go and your baby.
Yeah.
You can't allow people to do that, to just come over here and do things like this. And now everybody was, oh no, you got to do this and that and all that. I'm like, yeah, but see, this is what it looks like. This is what happens when you open borders. If we don't have borders, we don't have a country.
Yeah, it has to be borders.
We are over here, you know, helping people in other countries secure their borders, but we're just letting everybody in ours. We don't know who's coming through those borders. It's not just Mexicans, it's people from all over the world just running through that Mexican border.
Right. The irony. All the things they're yelling at their congressmen, they're yelling at them and they boo, you know, booing them. All the things they're booing them for is exactly what Trump was trying to prevent. And they're, oh, we hate Trump, he's racist. I'm like, all right, he was trying to prevent what you are now yelling at.
But don't worry, what he'll do when it's time for election is they'll find some white cop that killed a black man to get their minds off of it.
Yeah.
And then they'll also dangle reparations in their face.
Yeah.
And they'll all vote for him again.
Yep. That's how it works, you guys.
They redirect you. They say, hey, look over here, look over here. And they screw you over here. That's what I'm saying. Don't believe everything that the media tells you. Never believe a politician. I don't care if it's on the right or the left. Always look this stuff up. Don't just be voting for someone because you want to break a glass ceiling.
Right.
This is what you just broke.
It's embarrassing.
They're about to break you, period.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is just ridiculous. And this is a lesson.
Yeah.
To be learned from this group of people.
Know who you are voting for. Okay, particularly on a local level, your own community level. Because the general election is the general election, the president is the president. But I'm just saying that you need to know who you're voting for. If you don't know who you're voting for, this is the results you're going to get. So stop boo-hooing and crying and welcome them in.
If you're afraid of being called an Uncle Tom, just say you're voting for him and then vote the other way.
There you go. That's the solution.
Just lie. Just say that. If you want to be accepted in your family and in the club, the black club, just say you're going to vote for him and then vote the other way. You don't have to be as bold as me and say you're Republican.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to do that. What I'm just saying, for your own sake, then just go ahead and vote your issues. Don't go and vote for someone and everybody says and they got you in your voting booth. Oh, I guess I should because he's black.
Yeah.
I don't want to be called Uncle Tom. I don't know. The white cops are killing black men. I don't know. I don't know. We get reparations with these Mexicans over here. I don't encourage lying, but I'm just saying, don't talk about your politics.
Right.
Just wait till you, don't even lie. I don't believe in lying. Just, what you should do is just go, that's interesting. I have to think about it. And then when you get in the booth, vote Republican.
Leave some comments below. Tell us what you think about all this, and we would love to hear that. Thank you for sending the video. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you have not already. And that's it. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye.